no placeholder pick. Someone is having trouble with selecting his runes, so they decided to remake the lobby.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we'll just get back into that pretty quickly there. So, Unicorns of Love have picked themselves not a particularly mobile composition and quite a strong team fight, but very dependent on their positioning without a super hard engage to set up the Orianna ultimate. So we'll see how it works out for them, but I'm not entirely keen on the overall theme that they've got going for them there. In Faculty, on the other hand, they've got reasonable mobility, and they've certainly got a lot of split push, so they may well be able to prevent Unicorns of Love from ever using their composition the way they intend to.
Alright, we are just going to rush through picks and bans here. Everyone going with their champions as... Oh, okay, I was a little bit confused for the... because of the Leona pickup in that third slot for the Faculty team, but they are not in the normal order as they're a little bit mixed up, so that would make sense as, of course, Mountain is the support for Faculty. By the way, we did have a very funny highlight yesterday, a good Penta Denial if you liked that one, or if you have missed that one, you can also head over to the YouTube channel and check that one out, because I would surely recommend watching that one.
Yeah, indeed. That was a really, really amusing one there. So I will just say right now, by the way, worth pointing out, last time, but for the first 2 games of this series, they were actually using Unicorns of Love, were actually using a substitute support. So Hyla-Sang is actually now back in. I only just noticed that fact, and that may well turn the tides somewhat. But we do have the full lineups, and I've still got to say I do definitely favour Faculty here, because they built a really flexible and yet very, very strong in almost all situations team composition for themselves, whereas their opponents, Unicorns of Love, a little bit iffy in the split pushing department. They might be able to get a laning advantage, but their bot and their mid are at a slight disadvantage early.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head into a quick commercial break, just under 4 minutes, and we'll be live on the Rift. Stick around, because it's going to be the third game between the Unicorns of Love and Faculty, coming right to you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hitbox Challenger Face-Off. Now, at the moment, I am completely alone here casting this one, as Puddington is having some technical issues, but we hope he'll be back as soon as possible, of course. So, until then, you're going to have to do it with me and me alone, as it seems, and Faculty is going to fan out alongside that river, so are the Unicorns of Love doing, and I don't think we're going to have any action here, as it seems like Spuddington has returned.
That was bizarre. As far as I could still hear you even though I disconnected there. So that was very, very strange. I'm still on the loading screen as well, so if anything really is going on, you're going to have to cut me off. What is the situation right now anyway?
For now, everyone has just found out parallel to the river, and nothing is really happening, although we do have Mountain coming over towards that bottom side, and on the other side, Master of Sheepy, Hillesang, and Vardogs are going for their own red buff, so I don't think there's going to be any action here before those minions have spawned, as the minions have already spawned, and the farming game can start off.
Alright, well I'm still having some issues, and it looks like I might have to reload my client here, because League of Legends does love to do this to me. I think it might be partly because my computer lost half of its memory about a year ago, and I've never bothered to replace it. But we'll see if I can get back into the game. For now, you may just have to manage, and I know it's difficult without my fabulous voice, but without me for now.
Alright, I'll hope I'll manage, but indeed it is a bit difficult. Alright, so something to watch out for is, of course, that top lane where Fizixachi is going to face off against Prombeer in a unconventional matchup where he is going to be running the Kha'Zix. Of course, for now, he is certainly making sure that Prombeer is getting punished for that Jax pickup, as he is currently, let's see, 8 farm behind. Of course, it's not too far in the game, so Prombeer can maybe make something happen later on into the game. But Fizixachi is doing a good job for now in denying him a lot of experience and farm, because Prombeer is getting forced out of this lane continuously. As in that bottom lane, same goes for the other side of for the other team rather, as we do see in Faculty pushing back the Unicorns of Love pretty badly here. Hillesang and Vardogs, however, are doing a good job in keeping up on CS, even though they are being pushed back. So they're not doing too bad compared to Prombeer, who is surely having a lot of trouble here. And it seems like Fizixachi has made a good choice, but we might want to wait until some later stages in the game before making a final judgment on that one, because of course the Jax needs to scale up and farm up, where the Kha'Zix is fairly strong in the early game.
I'm back. Hello. Alright, I've made it into the game. It took a few attempts there. So hopefully I will stay connected and all the rest, but that time it wasn't the server's fault. My computer was bleeding out horribly. Obvious is in the top lane, stun misses.
Yeah, Fizixachi could still be in trouble. Here's the Counter-Strike is not going to leap on towards Fizixachi, and he just backs off. Obvious here is still sticking around, so Fizixachi might want to be careful, although he does have the backup in the form of Master of Sheepy. So Obvious is going to back away here in the end, or is he? Because he just cancels the recall at the last moment. Physics actually could be in trouble here. Obvious just hanging on to that cocoon, as I think they did spot Master of Sheepy, but for now it seems like it's going to be a bit of a cold war here.
Yeah, it's a little bit obvious. It's a little bit obvious that there is a counter gank right now because Vizigzachi is a smart player. He knows that nobody should have run away there, and we do actually have a disconnect from Master Sheepy, so maybe that's why he ran away, or maybe not. He did manage to get into the jungle, so I assume it was a very quick disconnect there. Says he has to fix TeamSpeak, but yeah, as I've got to say right now, top lane is actually going better than it looks for Vizigzachi. He's 6 CS behind, but the creeps that he'll get when his wave hits tower is significantly more than that. But he's not a massive amount ahead. And the way the matchups with Jax tend to go, you want to build up a bit of an advantage in this early stage of the game. And Pronbear's not far off level 6 already, so that time window is rapidly closing.
Yeah, he'll try and or he has to try and make something work in the next couple of minutes if he doesn't want to fall behind too far. We do see Master of Sheepy right now, making sure he gets those wolves, and then afterwards he might try and rotate over towards that bottom lane or that middle lane where Sigu and of course Zodiaz are facing off.
Always going to be a bit hard, I think, for the mid lane. Orianna versus Lulu is just classic farm time. It's very, very difficult to make ganks happen, and you might be able to get a gank if one of them is overextended, particularly Orianna. She is not particularly squishy, and she's got the movement speed from her W, but it's not a good counter to hard crowd control. So, you know, if you've got a good gank position, at least, it's not necessarily futile, but I really don't see it happening in the immediate future, since obviously Orianna is not going to be playing too aggressive. She's still got, well, pretty low mana, so that tends to put a damper on any aggression on either side, really.
In the meantime, Vizigzachi actually backed off and bought himself 2 longswords, so he's going to have a little bit more attack damage, and he will just teleport back to lane. He might try and make something work with that attack damage, although I think he'll just stick to farming. So we do see Obvious with a bit of a push in that middle lane. Might try and get some damage on that turret as he's using that skittering frenzy to make sure that that lane gets pushed out, and they just push in the wave in towards that turret. Zodiaz is going to miss some farm because of that as Sigu backs off.
So there is actually one change in this top lane now that Kha'Zix has hit level 6, which is actually quite important, which people underestimate about a Kha'Zix matchup. Against the melee bruiser, having the claws upgrade, which he's taken at level 6, gives him a significant range advantage over Jax. His auto attack range and his Q range goes up by, I think, about, you know, around 50, maybe even 100 units. And that's very, very significant advantage when you're coming to trade, because Pronbear basically has to use Leap Strike if he wants to land any auto attacks now.
Sorry about the telephone. I
didn't even hear.
Oh, okay, that's good. In the bottom lane, Vardags and Hylissang are, well, staying out of range of Mountain and Cedrion, as they are maybe looking for some kind of engage, or Vardags and Hylissang are probably just playing it safe, as we do see Obvious right now coming over towards that top lane. Vizigzachi does have a ward in that brush, so he's going to know this is happening, but he gets stunned up nonetheless. Counter-Strike connects using the Void Assault. Obvious now moving, and there's the cocoon. It does connect, and they will sink in the fangs. They need some more attacks on towards him. It is going to be first blood for Unfaculty.
Yeah, well played there, catching him out, and Vizigzachi was kind of caught in 2 minds as to whether to just tank the cocoon and be stealth and be okay like that. And Obvious actually taking a lot of damage from Xin. Master Sheep can chase this.
Oh, he's going in. Obvious right now, turning it around, and he's going to pick up that kill for Pronbear, as it is going to be 2-0 here for Faculty. That was unfortunate for Master Sheepy.
Yeah, their Pronbear had not finished his recall, and that was something he apparently did not take account of before going for that engage there. Apparently Jinx is the one having the lags here now, so hoping this isn't a bad sign for the future of EU West, but it is about that time of day, and, you know, EU West will do what EU West will do. So, for now, I think we should be okay in this. And I think right now as well, Unicorns of Love really need to think about what they're going to do about this Jax, because he's starting to get pretty out of hand, and once he's got a full Bilgewater, I'm not sure Vizixachi is going to be able to 1v1 him anymore.
Okay, so as you said, quick pause coming in here. We are just hoping this one continues as soon as possible. Now, for the moment, Pronbeer and Obvious are in that top lane, and they might try and get some damage on towards that turret. They are, I think they might actually try and do so, although Pronbeer is pretty low and so is Obvious, so they might also want to recall to base. As let's take a look at gold. Both of them are sitting on more than 1,000 gold, so they might actually also push this lane in, deny Vizixachi some farm, as he doesn't have his teleport to return to lane, and then back off towards their base to pick up some items. And in that middle lane, we do see Sigu with the Chalice of Harmony completed, facing off against Zodiaz still, who also has the Chalice of Harmony, but who is 10 farm ahead of him, so might be a sign of something that is to come here, as Zodiaz is starting to build up a slight advantage.
So, again, this is me thinking about what the situation is now for Unicorns of Love here. They've got a very good AD carry in the late game. They've got a very good mid laner in the late game. They've got, in fact, a very, very good late game composition and team fight. But how are they going to get through the mid game if Jax is ahead? If Jax is stronger than Xin, stronger than Xin, but also stronger than Kha'Zix in a one-on-one, because it's going to be very, very hard to stop that split push once it gets rolling. Obviously, Pronbear isn't yet at that point, and he's going to need probably one or two offensive items before he can really, really get going on that split push. But for now, it just seems like all of their gank attempts are not working, and in the long run, they've got no answer to the split push from Jax. Kha'Zix can try and hold his tower, and he'll have decent wave clear because he's going Ravenous Hydra. But even so, I just don't see it working out.
All right, in that bottom lane, Hylissang and Vardog. Oh, Hylissang and Vardog still trying to farm up there, as they are once again keeping up in farm, as again there is some lag here on the side of the Unicorns of Love, as apparently Zodiaz is having some trouble. Having some trouble, but luckily this one didn't take so long.
Yeah. Frog and joke abound in chat. There we go. It had to be done. Had to get out of the way so we can move on to fresh humor, not deader than a dead horse that's been murdered and then resurrected and then murdered again. So, right now, Orianna getting her blue buff from her jungler. This mid lane is going to continue to be a farm fest for a very, very long time. But at this stage of the game, Lulu can look for opportunities to roam. She's a little bit more mobile around the map. And it actually looks like with Jax running down to this dragon area, they're going to get that, because there's just no way for Kha'Zix to fight against it. Pronbear is teleporting back up. This could be clever here. Master Sheepy has predicted this play here from Pronbear, predicting he would return to the lane. And they will potentially be able to get a gank off on him, knowing where the enemy jungler is, because he must have been there for the dragon attempt just now.
Alright, Pronbear, however, is looking to freeze this lane, maybe. Just checking what's in that brush. Needs to be careful, because if he gets too close to that middle brush in that top lane, he could potentially die, although he still has his leap, of course. So that is a good form of disengage if he needs it. Throws in the ward, is going to get spotted out, and Master of Sheepy backs off.
Again, not having a lot of luck in the top lane. Again, they know how strong Jax is going to be. They know how much of a problem it could be. It seems like he's already out trading and pushing back the Kha'Zix in this lane, so we're just going to have to play it out for now. Sigu is keeping some warding up in that river area. And Vardog is pushing down the bottom lane. They may be able to cope with Jax in the long run simply by ganking him when he's much more heavily extended, because obviously Kha'Zix does set up gank very well. And actually now we may see a bit more aggression in this mid lane here. Zodiaz is going very low, but not enough to really matter, it seems.
Ooh, Sigu almost overextended too far right there. Master Sheepy was looking for a gank maybe from the side of that lane. But luckily for Sigu, he did have a ward on that river ramp, and he decided to back off. Now Zodiaz could be in trouble, taking a lot of damage under that turret. Sigu will have that glitch lance up right now. Throwing that one out is not going to hit it, and Zodiaz will be forced to back away. Master Sheepy could be finding Obvious here. This is going to be a 1 versus 1. Master Sheepy getting stunned up, taking a lot of damage. Now Obvious going to back off as the command protect did come through, and that is going to save Master Sheepy. Meanwhile, that bottom lane, Cedrion going very low as well. Super Mega Death Rocket not quite connecting, and Cedrion will back off. A lot of action, no casualties.
No, indeed. But in Faculty take a small advantage in this upper area here, because now Kha'Zix has to watch his back, because he really can't afford to trade too heavily with Pronbear here. Does actually get out of that after all, but Obvious his presence there is going to possibly convert this tower, whereas that bottom lane presence from Vardags is not going to be enough to get a tower. They obviously had to recall in case Lucian got back there. Zodiaz now playing kind of a dangerous game in tower defense here, but doesn't actually hold on to it, so that's the first tower going down.
There's turret going over to Unfaculty. That is going to give them almost a 2,000 gold lead, which is always nice, of course, but not quite what they would want. But it is certainly a good first step towards winning this game. Zixashi right now pushing in that lane in towards Pronbear's turret. Needs to be careful because once again Pronbear can probably just jump him at this point. Zixashi just getting that taste there, Fearin, and leaping off as quickly as he can right after that. Now Obvious is relatively close to that top lane, so he could maybe try and get a gank off there, but it seems like he'll just try and farm some jungle camps. He is moving down up there right now, as we do see Vardags actually going pretty low mountain now, getting chomped up by those chompers, taking a lot of damage. He's not going to go down, however, as once again, lots of action, no casualties.
You've got to be so careful against Cedrion here. He didn't use the culling in that engage, and they don't know exactly when it's going to come back up. 10 seconds now. Vardags is low enough. The Hylasang now basically has to stand in front of him, as long as there's no minions, and you need quite a lot of minions to block the culling, so got to be very careful for now. The saving grace here, of course, is Mountain took so much damage that he's not going to be able to go for any crazy 2-on-1 dives or anything, but right now both junglers are thinking, yeah, this is going to blow up soon, I think.
Obvious right now, getting closed in upon by that team. Zap is going to connect. Zap is going to connect. Obvious is not going to take a lot of damage as he just backs off. I don't think anyone wants to engage at this point, or never mind that one, because Sigu picking up a kill in the middle lane completely missed that one.
Yep, I totally missed it too, so no worries. We may also be missing one in the top lane soon. Pronbear doesn't pick up a kill after diving that, but in the meantime, this mid lane tower is going to take a lot of damage because Master Sheepy can't do much.
He's trying to do what he can. Sigu and Obvious, actually connecting the cocoon. Lot of damage coming down. Fang sinking in. Ultimate coming out of Master Sheepy, but the red buff is going to do its work, and it is Sigu not dropping in the end, but the rockets making short work of him.
That was a good shot. That was a damn good shot, but doesn't really change too much. It does mean, of course, that the one saving grace is now really the one saving grace and maybe about to die.
Ooh, Vardags going very low. Cedrion is going to be able to finish him off. Hillisang right now trying to hook Cedrion into that turret. A couple more hits will do it. Flay coming through. Is he going to be able to pick up the kill? Turret is on towards Mountain. Hillisang going very low. Now he is going to go down by Mountain's Eclipse. In the end, it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah, not a good trade there, considering they are so dependent on Jinx being farmed up. If they want to have a hope in team fights, they're going to need Jinx to do well now, because Kha'Zix is not doing well, Orianna is not doing well, and they are going to have to kind of hope in Faculty doesn't just split push them into oblivion, or that they can force a team fight somehow. But if they get behind with Jinx, they're not even going to be able to team fight very effectively. And if you're forcing a team fight, usually you're going to be putting yourself out in order to do that into a worse team fighting chances position. So they need so much for Jinx to do well.
Alright, Jinx right now all alone farming up his support, or her support rather, is just warding up that jungle, as in the meantime Vardogs is getting some free farm, freezing up this lane, doesn't want to extend too far as he doesn't quite know where Obvious is, who is by the way right now recalled to base, picking himself up a Ruby Crystal and a Vision Ward. Actually, he has picked up himself a Sight Stone, which is something I don't think I've seen too much on the Nelee's jungle, but it is certainly interesting.
Yeah, that is quite interesting. So Sightstone is effectively a gold item if you were going to be buying wards anyway, and let's face it, most good players do. Sightstone is effectively a gold item because it's saving you gold. So as an early pickup like this, where Obvious is already ahead, it may be worthwhile in the long run. Yeah, I think they're going to get out of that, unless there's a counter engage, but Master Sheepy's been seen by that ward in the Tri-Brush. So going back to Sightstone, actually, cancel that. They're going for the Dragon. That's much more important right now.
Yeah, Obvious right now, trying to start off that Dragon, doing quite a lot of damage. Cedrion doing work as well. Both top laners, let's see, do have their teleport up. Oh no, only Prawnbear has his teleport up, and Vizigsashi doesn't. Hylissang right now getting caught. Oh, he doesn't. He just teleports out in the end. Triple stun coming out of Prawnbear. Doesn't quite get what he wants in the end, but Vardogs is going to go down nonetheless. Cedrion picking up that kill. Now Hylissang is the next focus. Obvious picking up him, and it's going to be a 2-for-0 trade, and probably the Dragon here for the End Faculty team.
Yeah, they're going to be able to take that away. Very, very nice indeed. And that's a big, big swing here. And Faculty really starting to run away with this game. Vizigsashi will be able to get this top tower, so it's not a terrible objective trade, but he's very much glued to that top lane, and his teleport timing is essentially like slightly out of step with Jax. He teleports about 30 seconds after Prawnbear usually, because he's being forced to use it in order to get back into lane. Whereas Prawnbear is so strong, he's able to use it to teleport and increase his team's global map presence, which is obviously going to get your team further ahead in the long run, and that's starting to really, really win out.
Master Sheepy finding a ward right there, as in the bottom lane. The Faculty bottom lane will take out that turret. That is going to be the second turret for them, as there's only one turret. But here's the teleport kind of coming out of Vizigsashi. Mountain throwing down that ultimate. Vizigsashi going to do what he can, but there's the hook on towards Mountain. That's going to be enough to pick him up. Vardogs picking up that kill with the Super Mega Death Rocket. It's going to be the third kill for them, and it's a good pick, but that might just put off the cooldown on that ult, or on the teleport for Vizigsashi again here for the next Dragon.
They have to get this bottom tower, or they will be losing the objective trade. Even as it stands, it's not a brilliant trade, because Jax is going to be able to take this top tower, unless Master Sheepy pulls something really incredible here, like his ult insta gives a wave or something, and he may just die.
Oh, he jumps on towards him, stun comes through, Master Sheepy is surely going to go down. Prawnbear right there does go down, but now could be in trouble. Shockwave comes through, Zodiaz is going to finish him off. Flash comes through, but it's not going to save you, Prawnbear. Zodiaz picking up the fourth kill, as in that bottom side we did see the Unicorns of Love picking up that turret zap coming through. Mountain dodging that one, but the turret on the side of the Unicorns of Love did get picked up by Prawnbear's minions in the end. Obvious might not be done with Zodiaz here just yet, as he does spot him out coming in towards this lane. Zodiaz needs to be careful here. Cocoon is going to be vital. Oh, the repel coming down. Obvious right now, trying to do what he can. Heal comes through. Zodiaz doesn't quite get caught by the Cocoon. There's the minion waves. Obvious needs to make quick work of Zodiaz here. Zodiaz speeding himself up once again, slowing down Obvious, flashing in the end, and Obvious will not be able to pick up the kill in the bottom lane. Vardogs actually picking up a kill. Vizigsashi now trying to chase down Cedrion. Flash and heal will save him.
Now that Vizigsashi has been released from this top lane where he was trapped in this one-on-one against Jax and losing it horribly all the time, he's actually now making a lot of plays across the map, and that is the advantage of Kha'Zix as compared to Jax. He may not scale so hard in a one-on-one, but he's much more mobile, he's much more able to set up picks and fight well in small skirmish fights. So that does mean, obviously, he is able to make plays, and Vizigsashi so far doing a good job with that. Next question, though, I think is going to be who is going to make the next tower push, because I think in this situation it needs to be Unicorns of Love that are trying to force towers together right now, because End Faculty otherwise could be causing a lot of problems if Prawnbear is allowed to get established in that top lane, pushing constantly and splitting.
Okay, we do see Prawnbear going for maybe an invade here. He will get spotted out by that pink ward, and I'm not too sure whether you actually saw that pink ward. Did Sigu actually see it, or did he not? I don't think he actually saw it either. So that pink ward is going to stand for another couple of minutes, probably. Sigu right now is going to have to face off against 3 members of the Unicorns of Love team, as they are starting to siege up that middle lane. Just going to move over towards that blue buff, and he will be picking that one up, as we did see Zodiaz picking up his blue buff on that side. And, well, who would have thought Prawnbear in that top lane just split pushing?
Not brilliant play there, though. Not brilliant map awareness, I feel, from Unicorns of Love, because they had a 4-man in that mid lane, and they knew that there was a 1-man committed in both top and bottom from their opponents. There was no reason that they couldn't have at least tried to get some damage down on the tower in the mid lane, but as it happened, they appeared not to realize that commitment, and as a result, they thought, well, better to play it safe, better to pull back, maybe look for a gank on the Jax. Maybe we can set something up from that, but, well, it's not an ideal situation for them.
No, it certainly isn't. We do see Mountain right now moving over towards that bottom lane. It is going to be a 3 versus 2 situation if he joins the party. Unfortunately for them, they don't have a minion wave, and Master of Sheepy has joined his bottom lane. So it is going to be an even matchup here. Not looking at farm, but these guys are having a bit of a standoff here. No one really wants to go in, but everyone is, I think, ready to go in at this point.
Yeah, they're playing a game of vision control here, because what Faculty wants to do is the 1-3-1 split push, and that is really, really difficult to do if you haven't got vision control, but really, really brutal to play against if you do. So definitely every ward going one way or the other is significant, and it's especially bad if you can't then reward it immediately afterwards.
Alright, so Prawnbear finally deciding to get out of that Unicorns of Love jungle, although he might be going for another run here. No, he's just going to head up top and probably start split pushing again. As we do see Mountain right now making sure they have the vision control near that dragon area, as that one is coming up in another 20 seconds, and Faculty could be ready for this one. Teleport is up on Prawnbear, but so it is on Physics actually. So they might actually have a fair fight here, because I think this is the first time Physics actually has his teleport for a potential dragon fight.
It most certainly is, but the big problem right now is that where Jinx is just not conducive at all. And this is actually, maybe he'll want to teleport down, but I really doubt they're going to contest this. It would be very, very risky to face check into. They are actually going to do it, though.
Master of Sheepy gets turned upon Mountain, looking to connect that Zenith Blade. Master of Sheepy taking a lot of damage. Dragon actually going over to Faculty, and the Unicorns of Love don't get anything in return here whatsoever. Repel is coming down. Oh, this could be bad. Obvious landing on those chompers, getting hooked in, getting flayed back. There's the Super Mega Death Rocket. One more hit, and he will go down in the end. Paradox gets excited. Sigu flashing in, picking up Hillisang. Now Mountain could be in trouble as well. Dodges the zap, and then Faculty rotate over towards that middle lane. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, but it was obviously a dragon as well for Faculty there, and it was a bad call. It was just a weird call. In fact, Unicorns of Love could see the dragon play coming a mile off. They knew what was going to happen well ahead of time, and yet their response was, first we're going to face check into it, which is like a fight we're just almost guaranteed not to come out on top of unless we get like a 3k elo shockwave or something like that. And then they thought, well, okay, why didn't we just... Or sorry, they should have been thinking, why don't we just push another lane and try and delay their dragon attempt? So, yeah, like little bit questionable macro play there. And obviously then they ended up in a 1-for-1 trade, which was kind of okay. And I'm a little bit surprised that Faculty let their guy get caught there.
Yeah, that was unfortunate on the side of Obvious. As in that bottom lane, Physics Hachi and Hillisang are starting to push that one out. Prawn Bear is there, however, so that wave is just going to get decimated. Nothing that those poor minions can do about it. Hylissang sticking around, but he is going to recall after all. As let's see, yeah, it only has 250 gold, so he's not going to be able to pick up anything major here. As we do see Faculty slowly moving into that Unicorns of Love jungle, and the Unicorns of Love need to be careful they don't get caught off guard.
We're seeing the split push pressure come in now as well. Vision control. Obvious's warding is very solid for his team now, and this means that what they can do is apply pressure obviously with Jax in the bot lane. That will be a continual thing. If they get caught, he can teleport in. And what they need is to essentially force the rotations from their opponents and also bait out this Baron, because they've got so much vision control. And they may be able to actually just keep killing Hylissang's wards, which is kind of annoying for him. But Jax is pushing bot anyway, so it doesn't really matter because he's going to take that tower. It's gone.
Yep, that turret is not going to stand for too long. Physics actually is coming over there, but it's just not going to be enough to stop Prawn Bear from taking that tower, because he is such a beast. Of course, that Jax in taking towers, as at the moment the Faculty team is also 5,000 gold ahead. Less than ideal here for the Unicorns of Love, and they might be want to be careful here. Master of Sheepy overextended a little bit, and Faculty could be looking to land a Zenith Blade or Cocoon, but in the end Master of Sheepy going to back off.
Faculty are going to be perfectly happy for this game to continue at this pace. They are split pushing, they are taking objectives, they're getting farmed. They've got the vision control over Baron, so they know there's no chance of that being, rushed away from them. And Prawn Bear has just hit his 2-item threshold, or maybe he's had that for a little while. Picks up a giant spell, so probably yes. But this is also the part where it becomes even harder to stop the Jax, because if you go as 2 to stop the Jax, you go for the 2-man gank, that's an instant Baron taken away from them. Elise is very good at tanking that, so is Leona. If you now send a 1-man, you're going to gradually lose ground. You're going to gradually risk Kha'Zix being killed if it's him that's stopping him, and going to lose your towers from Jax just ignoring the damage. It's pretty much anyone else. So now, in Faculty, really, they just need to keep doing what they're doing, and they will gradually take the victory. The only potential risk is if they get called on a Baron call, because in Faculty might choose to try and bait that out. They might go for a Baron call. They might start it off like they actually are doing right now. And this is very clever because obviously they're not showing their hand nearly as hard. But if they had done a Baron call where Jax was in bottom lane and been engaged upon, maybe they would have lost the fight. As it is now, though, free Baron, easy.
GG indeed. Super Mega Death Rocket is going to come through. I think that did spot them out, but it's not going to be enough to deter them from picking up that Baron, as the very first Baron of this game did go over to Faculty. That's going to give them a huge lead here, 7,000 gold, as Physics actually is pushing out that bottom lane, trying to pick up what he can, but it's a grim prospect here for the Unicorns of Love.
Yeah, indeed. They are falling further and further behind as time goes by. They might be able to turtle in their base. They've got some decent wave clear, between their Orianna and their Kha'Zix missiles and stuff, so maybe they'll be able to hold on once they're already pushed into their inhib towers. That's not really a good situation to be in, because the Faculty are just so strong right now. Anyone puts a foot wrong at this point, gets caught out by a Leona or a Cocoon, then they're going to just straight up get gibbed, and that is going to be pretty much a death knell now, because you can just continually push in towers across the board if they get any kind of advantage when they've already got a Baron, and Faculty looking very strong. They're going to take the dragon. Why not? Maybe, it's there. It's free gold.
Yeah, and on top of that, I don't think that the Unicorns of Love actually want to fight them at this point. They might stand a chance once they're under the defense of a turret, but on open ground near a Baron pit, it's not going to be nice for them if they decide to fight it. Prawn Bear just casually walking down towards that bottom lane. It's going to start split pushing again, I think. He's just waiting in this tri-brush, so Not too sure what he's doing right there. Might be looking for a gank on towards someone. So he might know that Physicshachi is close. He does spot out Physicshachi. So he is, I think he has the smell of blood at this point.
Yeah, Pronbear was aware there that he was the only one on his team at that point because everyone else had backed that was pushed out at all. Mountain may be caught here, but he's very, very tanky. This is risky.
Yeah, he's very tanky indeed. Master Sheepy gets turned upon, but here's the rest of the members of that Unicorns of Love team. Mountain flashes over the Dragon Pit wall, and he is going to get blown up nonetheless. Physicshachi now using that ultimate. Takes a bit of damage from Obvious, is going to disengage, however. Cedrion right now also a little close to the Unicorns of Love. That was a nice pickup right there for them. Oh, Physicshachi taking a lot of damage as well here. Obvious now. Ooh, good repel. But once again, the Flame Chompers, they're not quite on the spot they wanted them to be.
They got the kill there, yes, but they didn't take any objectives off it. And Sigu was able to take that top inner tower down to 10% health at best there. So maybe not the best situation after all. They're committing quite hard to killing for Mountain, and then they looked for follow-up kills, which they could have then converted into objectives, but they couldn't find them, and as a result, they've ended up actually probably coming out the worst in that trade. Sigu actually looking for the chase down on Zodias.
Zodias, once again, might be in a bit of trouble if Sigu decides to pursue this kill. Sigu with a Whimsy on, just going to clear out that lane very, very quickly. Zodias under the turret is going to get interrupted from recalling, actually taking quite a bit of damage because of that Glitch Lance, and this turret in that top lane rather is going to go down. Zodias can defend that one. In that middle lane, turret going down as well. That's 2 turrets, and now they switch their focus on towards this inhibitor turret. We do see the Unicorns of Love coming over there as quickly as they can, but the turret isn't here. As the culling comes through, Physicshachi taking a bunch of damage using that Void Assault. Super Mega Death Rocket is going to connect towards Cedrion. There's the Shockwave, is going to lock up 3 members. Physicshachi actually going down. Cedrion right now is going to pick up that kill. Master of Sheepy taken very, very low. Pix is on towards him, but it's not going to pick up the kill, as we do see just and Faculty steaming in towards this base.
Yeah, no problems at all for them right now. They're going to continue to take towers. They're going to continue to take objectives. Maybe they'll get the counter engage here, but no, because obviously Lulu, Elise, too hard to chase down. And that means Inhib down now, Inhib open as well. Further gold advantages. Yes, the Baron buff has fallen off, but that's not going to matter when you've got 12k gold between the two teams. I really don't fancy the chances of Unicorns of Love now.
Yeah, this is very not nice, to be blunt about it, as Cedrion is just going to push up that top lane, and Zodias is trying to do what he can in defending that one. He did have a good shockwave, to be honest, in the last fight, but they just need a bit more than that, and Physicshachi getting blown up almost instantly didn't help whatsoever.
And I've got to criticize the Kha'Zix pick here. Most of their problems with this game have been born from the split push of Jax, and it was clear that the plan was to counter him with Jax, to counter Jax with Kha'Zix, and then gank it incessantly to make sure that matchup got ahead so they could then snowball to victory. But it just hasn't worked, and I don't think Kha'Zix would have worked if there had been a 2v1 swap up either, which was something they really couldn't have accounted for since they first picked Kha'Zix. It was a very risky strategy that hasn't really had much reward when you could have just banned it or picked Rise.
As we do see Physicshachi being chased here by Obvious. He's going to leap over the wall and be safe as... Pronbear is doing what he does best, split pushing in that bottom lane, making sure that the Unicorns of Love feel the pressure because the pressure of that Jax pick in the end. 11-7 here, and a 12,000 gold lead. Baron coming up in a minute. It doesn't look too good here for the Unicorns of Love, as we do have in Faculty trying to pick up this inhibitor. If Zodias gets a good shockwave, they might be able to pick up some kills in a fight, and if Physicshachi doesn't get caught, which he just almost did. Now Sigu might be getting caught as well, is going to have to blow his flash to get out, but he gets out safely, and then Faculty keeps sieging.
check the bot lane. Jax shoving down the tower. Hylissang never going to be able to stop him. He may lose his life here, though.
Oh, Prombeer actually jumping on towards Hylissang. Hylissang taking too much damage for his liking. Prombeer will be able to finish him off. Here's Sigurd to help. Kha'Zix actually getting jumped on as well. Using that Void Assault, the second charge of it. Sigurd actually with the Wild Growth is going to survive that one. There is the Mega Inferno Bottle, or the Super Mega Death Rocket. Sigurd will not go down because of that, nor will Prombeer. It's 2 kills. There's the Zenith Blade on towards Master of Sheepy, taking a bunch of damage. Shockwave is going to finally pick up Prombeer, but it's just not enough as they try and hammer on down this Nexus. It is going to go down. It's going to be the 3rd game here for Unfaculty.
Yeah, not a good sequence of events there in that game. The problem Unicorns of Love had was they both put themselves in a situation where they were very weak to the split push from Jax, and they didn't make proactive moves very often to try and head off the split push. They let Jax get into his top lane, get established, start pushing, so that whenever they then tried to make a play, the response from Faculty was always kite them back, let Jax push, take towers, win game. So next game, maybe they will